Hey, you tourists, it's your boy Domination. This is back in the basic. Chugging the deuces up. Chugging the deuces out. We did the text, baby. Man, those back. You know this, know this, know this, know this, know this. Real men rise up, fake men rise down. Rule will rise up, fake will rise down. Prep to where preacher preach on. And today's topic to talk about is the only place you ever gonna get it, 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 only place you ever gonna get it is right back basic. Chugging the deuces out. We did the text, baby. Man, those back. You know this, know this, know this, know this, know this, know this. And today's topic to talk about is I really want to speak about this eugenics stuff. We need to start study about this eugenics and different graphomen and all this other stuff, all this nonsense. But you would think that this stuff is still practiced to this day. I really do believe this. And the IQ test stores and all that. Okay, listen to this. Eugenics. From the Greek and the eugenis, well born from goodwill and the eugenics of race and stock and kin, a set of the belief and practice of which aiming at the importance of the government qualities of the human population. It is a social philosophy to advocate the importance of a human government and through the promotion of the highest rate of sexual reputation for people with desire and trade in the positive eugenics or the recent of the rate a really recent red red recent red recent red recent uh red recent of the sexual uh, reputation and to sterilize the people with less desire or undesired trait, negative eugenics or both, and internally in the beginning of the accepted rather than the people selected has recent and been recent had recently been made impossible through the cheap due to due to cheapening in genes and edited and that e.g. Crispy Reed, the expectancy of the definition of the eugenics has been a matter of the debate since the term was coined. The definition of it as a social philosophy that is a, a philosophy with an importance for the social order. It's not universally accepted as well was taken from Fred Frank Osborne, 1937, and Journey Arthur, and the habits of a genetic of philosophy. While eugenics principle has been practiced as far back in the world of history as ancient Greeks, like I said, everything has come from ancient Greeks somewhere. The modern of the history of eugenics beginning in the early 20th century went with a popular eugenics movement in integrate in Britain and spread it to and to spread to many countries, including the United States and most European countries in this period. Eugenics idea was spread across the political and substance and indeed both positive measure, much as encountered much as and much encouragement individual during them partly in fit to to produce and a negative measurement much as a marriage and prohibition and the force of a sterilize of people descend into unfit for the producing and people to them the unfit to producing offered included the people with medical or physical disabilities, people who scored in a lower rank of different IQ tests and criminals and dissidents and the members of the disfavored minority groups. The eugenics and the eugenics movement become the negative associated with the Nazi Germany and the Holocaust and the murder by German state in at expectedly 11 million people. When many of the people programmed many people of the program, okay, many people of the defensive as the number validate and tribe committed to the adjustment the human rights and views by claiming that there was little difference between the Nazi eugenics program and United States, and U.S. eugenics. It's the same thing. There is no difference between the Nazi eugenics program and the U.S. program. Excuse me. Excuse me. Again, the Nazi eugenics program, and the U.S. Eugenics. It's the same thing from Nazi eugenics and U.S. eugenics. The same thing. Uh, Along then Sweden and U.S. and continued to carry out the sterilized for several declared several declare a major commitment of eugenics policies is that rather of whatever of the negative or positive policies are used, they are validated to views because this is critical of the selected are demanded by whatever the group is in political power. Far more the negative eugenics is considered by many to be violate a base of human rights, which was included the rights to produce a meat. Man, let me say this. This whole eugenics stuff, man, I really do think that's what happened to my niece. I don't know why. Something tells me. And this asshole right here, who's the founders of this whole eugenics, Frederick of Gunnington, was a early eugenicist and coined the term himself, and and popularized the collected of the words nature and nurture it. Man, all of this is they promote this whole idea of, like I said again, these Europeans, they really do believe there are descendants from this whole Atlanteans Atlanta. That's what the Atlanteans Atlantis. Because how many people watch World Star? How many people watch Love and Hip Hop? How many people that don't know Atlanta is Atlantis? A lot of people don't know that. And there's a character of the movie. It was called the movie Hercules by Rocky Johnson, and all the characters. There's this girl named Alentia. Yeah, her name was Alentia. Y'all need to look that up. See, these assholes, man, they really believe this whole idea with this blonde hair and blue eyes. There was another movie we was talking about the children of a village Village of Them. You know, that was based on this whole blonde hair and this whole blue eye stuff that promote this idea that Europeans are somehow they're the master race with this whole swastika, and that's come from the planet star system. If you don't believe all this, there's a show called Dragon Ball Z, and there was a character named Vegeta and Goku. They were Super Saiyans, and that's promote out there. And the rest of their families, they're trying to say they're the master race. It goes by again why they think they're the master race. All the reason why they think they're the master race because they're the founders of Freemasonry. That's all it is, and it goes way back to 1095 to 1095 to 1097. One of them with that year, and they stopped them in the year 1307, but their names still remains to go around to this very day. He's the cousin of Charles Darwin, that racist son of a bitch, with this theory of even illusion. I mean, it goes to show, trying to say that his cousin believed Charles Darwin, even though Charles Darwin and French and Galton, they were cousins. Charles Darwin believed that this whole evolution, black people somehow involvement by animals, by apes, gorillas, and monkeys and chimpanzees. I mean, it just promote the idea, but yet these people don't want to admit they link to embedment of the binalism. See, they don't want to admit it. They telling you off themselves. And the sad part about it, they've been doing this to every other people, not just blacks. They do it to everybody. It's sad. It's sad they do other people like that. It's sad. The idea of the eugenics to producing better human beings and having exist at least since Pluto, and certainly a selected melted to the producing a guardian class. The idea of eugenics to deceasing the birth of inferior human being have existed at least since William Goodley in 1829 to 1894, and advocate the category and spread of insanity, spread in the insane. It is. However, the term of eugenics to describe the modern of content content concept of importance of the quality of a human being born into the world was actually devised by French Guillotin, and Hamilton had read his half cousin Charles Darwin a theory of evolution, illusion, which is which is far to explain the inhabitants of the planet and the animal species, and desire to apply it to humans. And Gunnington believed that it is desire, trait, and or inheritance of based on biological gravity studies. In 1883, 1 year after Darwin's death, Gunnington had given his research a name, eugenics, and throughout its recent history, eugenics have remained a controversy content. Yeah, I bet you it is. Eugenics becomes an academic and discipline at many colleges and universities, and receive funded from many sources and organization form to win a public support. I don't see how. And probably the opinion towards the responsible eugenics and variety and parenthood, including the included in British and Eugenics Education Society of 1907 and the American Eugenics Society of 1921. Both have fought to support from the lead and government and embodiment of their message to meet in the religion idea. There are three international eugenics. There are the three international eugenics confessed presents a global advisory for the eugenics list, with meeting in 1912 in London and in 1921 and 1932 in New York. Eugenics policies are in first implemented in the early 1900s in the United States. It was rooted and it had roots in France, Germany, Great Britain, and United States, and later in 1920s and 30s. Eugenics policies are stabilized eventually, and the medical patients are in practically in many of the countries, including Berlin, Brazil, Canada, Japan, and Sweden. Yeah, it's been rooted everywhere. Who can have birth locks in this country? Who don't have birth locks? They sterilize black women to then not having no babies. They do it then, they do it now. And this is this whole thing about eugenics. This is what this eugenics. Okay, the classical eugenics, the negative of eugenics by the pro of the vision of information and serve, and presently of unplanned pregnancies and births. Just Say No campaign. You remember that President Nixon's wife said, "Just say no." You know what she meant, and she ain't talking about drugs. She talking about just say no. Not only the drugs, say no for sex. Okay, the sex education in school. This is school based on the clients promoted the use of the conjugative and the operation in conjugative and research for better conjugative and stabilize an abortion. Eugenics and negative by integrally and considered and compounded and implicit for stabilize and Denver Dog a Day program. You know, Dog of the Day, because there was a B.D. Siegel. He had a sign that was called Dollar for a Day. You know what that means? Paying the teen mothers to not become pregnant again. See, this is not right. And recently for women for on welfare to use in the United States and support for the stabilizing the habits in the country. And courtesy of the TDA of the profit to welfare mothers, stabilize of the mentally and retarded, stabilize of female criminals, stabilize of male criminals. Basically, they produce men, women, and becomes as criminals from the wedlock mothers and unfit mother to unfit father and not productively being a father. Y'all need to look this stuff up. And license to Planned Parenthood, positive eugenics, financial and estate to having children, selected in case of it for children bearing, taxes for taxing of the child on the list, ethnicity absurd of the elite, eugenics integration, new eugenics, and artificially affected introduced by doing none and argument and the ignorant during nation and practically diagnosed of you the diagnosed of genetic disorder and pregnancy of the terminate of fees used and ethically used as selected in eugenics and euthanasia and genes therapy and clone. These people know what they doing, man. And the sad part about this whole eugenics stuff, y'all need to study eugenics because I think that's what they did to my niece. I'm not sure if I can prove that, but if I had to guarantee, see these men are responsible for this. This French is Gallatin, yeah, and the guy who was Charles Darwin, fuck Charles Darwin, fuck him too. Because the sad part about it, they need to be bring these people down. And the sad part, you got to study eugenics. You got to study it because if you don't study eugenics, you'll never know as a people that how far we come and how far we can go. Because nobody should have the right to tell them who can be who can plan to have being a who can tell them how to plan to be a parent or how to be a parent. If you know you can be a parent, be a parent. If you know how to be a mother, be a mother. If you know how to be a father, be a father. What they trying to control, what they can do to bring in not only in the bedroom to how to have children, not to have children. This is not right. This has come from Britain and all the rest of these folks who control the family law. That's why I study child support. I study all this stuff if I'm ready to have kids. But I don't like this whole idea about this eugenics. That's come from Europe. The sad part about this, they do that to their own people. That's the sad part. It was rooted in French because these people believe that they think they are Aryans. These people think they come from a place of Atlantis. These people believe they think they are Nazis. These people think of this come from this goddamn Khazars. But the sad part, they're the bloodline of the Knight Templars. also known as the Ku Klux Klan. For anybody that think that they're not, because they're the ones that co-founded the Freemasonry over there in Scotland, they were the ones that funded the bankings over there in Switzerland. They're the ones that created them hospital in the hospital in England. That's the sad part. You need to know this stuff. If you don't know it, you'll never know it. And let's take these people out one by one and one by all and all by one. They need to take down each one by bit, two by two, whatever. This whole back of this whole Paputo, and it come from ancient Greece. So they've been doing this kind of stuff for years. They doing it, and I believe they probably diagnosed and nosing it and killed my niece's child. I really do believe that they got a baby stuck in there, and they couldn't even take the baby out until later. See, y'all need to know who these people are, and we need to know who the people we're dealing with, and bring them down. Because anything changes, Father, make it possible, and things will be better to come. You'll see. And it's your boy Domination. This is Back in the Basics. Sugar the Deuces. How to do text, baby. Until next time. All right. Peace. I'm out. All right. Peace.